Hey, welcome to the Northwest Georgia Football Team FYN Single A schedule release show. We're going to do a release show each week, for all the different classifications as we go forward. Tonight we're joined by Benton Birge, Chris Napier, Tim Towe's here. Tim and Chris are going to talk to us a little bit about the realignments that happened in the offseason. Some of you guys don't know yet before we get started rebuilding these Single A schedules.
Yeah, the realignment, it's pretty wild, but I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting year, mainly because we got some smaller regions now for some of the teams in the area. And so we have some out-of-region games. We're going to see some games right off the bat we've never seen before. We've never seen North Murray and Dalton play or Pickens playing North Murray. I think these are good things. These are all local games. I think these are going to fill up stadiums, and that's going to be a good thing for all of our local programs. I think getting the stadiums full help fund them programs. I'm really interested in seeing some of the matchups, especially that North Murray Dalton game. I think this is a game that a lot of people want, so I'm interested in seeing that. But we're here for Single A. So what do you think, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy, the new region realignments. It's like I'm breaking up with Benton and Lawrence and Levi. Now I'm getting with Chris with North Murray. It's going to be crazy. If you'd have told me 2 years ago that Fannin County and North Murray and Haralson County would be in the same region, and Chattooga and Pepperell and Dade County would be Single A, I'd be, what in the world are you talking about?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be crazy, man.
How you doing, Levi?
Doing good, man. Just as excited as you guys are, and I kind of jump in right there on what Tim was just saying. It definitely feels like a region shakeup is going to shake away some of those good rivalries, but it's really throwing together some exciting stuff. And I believe the players and the fans for high school football in the Northwest Georgia area this coming year are really going to be in for some exciting matchups, new rivalries, some renewed rivalries, yes, and a whole lot of action.
Yeah. I just like the fact we get to see some matchups right off the bat that we've never seen before, and matchups that a lot of people in the area have wanted. And so we get that now.
I can't wait to listen to you guys talk about Chattooga and Tryon, how much that means to all of you guys, and obviously we'll talk over the next few weeks. I believe we're going to do one of these like every Sunday. I believe AA, AAA, all the way up. But just Gilmer and Pickens being back in the same region, that's a big rivalry, and all this has prompted Fannin and Pickens playing in a non-region again too. Like Chris was saying, some of these local non-region matchups that are coming back because of realignment. So yeah, I think these next 2 years are going to be exciting football and of course, basketball, baseball, all the other sports, not just football, but a lot of new rivalries, a lot of new matchups, a lot of old rivalries renewed. It's exciting. It's very exciting.
Yep. That's why people need to get out to the stadiums this year. Fill them up.
Definitely.
Levi got that World War III map in the background. Trying to see if
Yeah, I had a little internet connection, so I had to go to the office.
Here is the, in case you haven't seen it, here's the example of the new regions for Single A Division I. And you'll notice right offhand that you have most of the local teams in Region 7A of Division I. Armurchie, Chattooga, Coosa, Dade, Dalton Academy does not play football, but they do have, I believe, basketball team. Darlington, Pepperell, and Tryon. That's going to be I think it's going to be interesting. I think you got some old rivalries renewed. Coosa and Chattooga and, the Dades, they're used to playing each other, but Chattooga used to play Darlington all the time, and they're going to bring Darlington back.
I mean, for those that have been around the area for a while, this is the old Region 7 AA, probably for the last 10, 12 years. Same
Yeah.
team, same. I mean, with Trine thrown in.
Yeah. Ever since they started the private stuff with single A, Darlington's been out, but you're exactly right. You add Trine in, and that's kind of like I'll say the little sizzle in the pan, because Chattooga and Trine hasn't played a real game since 1971. That's before me. So
That's correct. And don't forget, Trine has really played their non-region schedule has been Region 7 AA. They played
Absolutely.
Model and Coosa and Dade County the last couple of years, and those games have flip-flopped for the Bulldogs. That in their down year 2 years ago, they suffered some pretty good whoopings from Model and barely escaped Dade County in overtime. And then obviously this past year they exacted some revenge on those guys. Narrowly missed the revenge match with Dade due to a COVID cancellation.
That would have been a whale of a game, I believe.
That would have been a really good game. And had they rescheduled towards the end of the year after both teams made some adjustments, it would have been even more epic.
Yeah. Worth noting, a few of these other teams, stepping down to single A here. You got Raven County, Elbert from double A going to single A. That's going to be interesting. Also, you got Heard County going to be in Region 4, not Region 5 as we're used to seeing also.
Yeah.
So,
and you add Temple to go along with Heard in that same
and Temple, can't forget about Temple. But that's going to be interesting. Raven and Elbert also going down in the single A from double A.
And then we'll probably jump into schedules here in a second, but this is the Division II, which doesn't have as many local teams, but it does have a few, so I figured we would talk about it. Down here in the 7A Division II, you have Mount Zion, also Bowden and Christian Heritage from our area that's in
I think they're the only three football playing teams in that region.
Yeah, that region is loaded with teams if you look at the list there. But if you see the asterisk, that means that school doesn't have a football team. So there's only 3 football schools in that region. So
I would love to see Georgia School for the Deaf to get back into GHSA football.
Yes, they had some big players come through there. Believe it or not, some
back in the 70s and 80s, man, they were huge.
All righty.
I thought Bowden would be a sure end, man, here in this lower single A bracket. But there's some tough teams in the South, huh?
Yeah.
Charlton County, Dooley County, Early County.
Yeah,
I still like Bowden's chances of winning the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at 6A here, and I see like Schley County and Taylor County. You see the Clinch County with Charlton and Turner County, which is normally pretty athletic on the football field. Of course, you still got the other one over here with Wilcox County, I think, dropped down. You got Hawkinsville and Dooley County, which is Hawkinsville is a single A power over the last few years. Let's see here. That's about all I see.
Well, what was the big upset? The upstart team there from 6A was Manchester. Manchester had a good year and could challenge Bowden, down the stretch. But Schley is hit or miss.
How much do you think it hurts or helps a team knowing at the beginning of the year they've made the playoffs? Before the season even starts.
I think it would hurt. I would think you'd want something to put on the wall. A goal, something to work for.
You still have winning, your seeding. So, I mean, to me, still winning that region is going to be a big deal for them just to get the good seeding into the playoffs.
So, and something else you think about, go along with that question. Once you lose a game or two, then what? Then are you just like, mail it in, you're there. You can't go any lower. That's the kind of thing I'd worry about with only 3 teams, in other regions like the Coosa, Chattooga, Dade region. I mean, anybody could take your spot, which it's going to be interesting. But, want to start going through some of the schedules for the area around here?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what we got.
Yeah, let's see here. Let's view the slideshow.
Pull up your power there.
Yeah. All right. This is, I'll let Lawrence handle this one because it doesn't have a label on it.
Yeah, I believe this is Bowden, right? Isn't it
Yeah,
Bowden?
this come from Bowden. Yeah.
This is Bowden. Look at that game on August 12th, man. Going to Raven.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
might actually be worth the drive, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty good drive. I mean, that's about what, 3 hours, 3.5 hours?
One end of the state to the other.
Yeah.
For a nice scrimmage game. Be interesting to be at.
In the first game of the season, the 19th, they're hosting Manchester.
That's the one I was looking at. I think
Yeah.
they're going to hide a bunch of their toys in that scrimmage against Herd and Raven. And really probably tuning up some of their fundamentals. That Manchester game, they're gonna kick open the barn doors and we're gonna see what they got.
Then they host the Lions on the 26th. I think that'll be a heck of a game. I know the Lions are loaded this year. They're bringing back a sophomore quarterback that threw over 1,000 yards last year. Then they go to Bremen. I mean, everybody thinks Bremen's going to be down this year. They lost a ton of seniors. And then at Tatnall Square, I'm not sure where Tatnall Square is. I think it's close to Macon, maybe.
Never heard of it.
I believe it's even farther southeast than
Further
Macon.
south than Macon. I think they played Darlington, didn't they, in the playoffs this past year? And
Not
then
sure.
Temple. Temple's going to be a fun team to watch this year. I don't know if you guys remember Corey Nix, that coach at Gordon Central. He's back coaching at Temple.
Yeah, a great hire for Temple. I thought that was a really good move for them. Nix did not have any tools in the toolbox at Gordon Central and still was able to squeeze a lot of life out of those guys. And at Temple, he's going to have a lot more to work with.
Yeah, he's going to have an uphill struggle this year, because they lost a lot of seniors off that team, but I think he'll have them pointed in the right direction. And the best thing about it, we talked about earlier, they're automatically in the playoffs. So he's
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think they're
Guaranteed
quite
playoffs.
ready to compete with a Bowden or a Manchester, but I do think that they will field a competitive team right out of the gate.
Yeah. And then they go to St. Francis, man. St. Francis is a tough team. And Forest Park. I think Forest Park is a 5A school that's perennial 0-10 team out of the Atlanta area. And Christian Heritage and Pike Liberal Arts School in Alabama. I'm not real familiar with Pike's Liberal Arts, but I think Mount Zion is playing them, Herd's playing them, so they must be right there on the border somewhere.
Mm-hmm. But closing with Mount Zion again, they should be reaching their crescendo then, and that's going to be a good finale.
All right, Ben, who you got next?
Yes, sir. Next, we have Christian Heritage.
This was an interesting schedule, man. When I was looking over this one, they're traveling to Huntsville. They're going to Alpharetta. They're going to Nashville area. They're going to Asheville, North Carolina toward the end of the season. Tons of travel.
Man, look at that early schedule, though. North Cobb is going to come back here. And then, in that 3 out of 4, you got Darlington and Pickens. I feel like Pickens is going to have a lot of weapons this year.
Yeah, my first thought when I saw this schedule was this would have been a good schedule for this past year, because they were loaded with college prospects, and I thought it'd be a good showcase for those guys. And I think they lose quite a bit of seniors this year, and it might be tough for them,
Yeah, they'll. In my opinion, they'll be fortunate to be 2-2 coming out of that for opening 4.
And then they have Mount Zion and Bowden in the region, and they could end the season 3-7 and still make the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think they'll do better.
I don't see 4 gimmies in there. I don't see 4 wins in there that I would put money on. So 3.
Like I said, I don't know much about St. John Paul of Huntsville.
Ezra Harding. I don't know anything about them. They're in Antioch, Tennessee. I'm not familiar with them.
Asheville Christian. That's Jake West's territory over there.
That is.
Yeah.
You're getting into the border wars over there.
Yes.
We'll
I
talk
think
about
we
a lot of miles on the bus, so that's for sure.
They're playing 3 teams outside the state of Georgia. That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's a fun schedule. If I'm a Christian Heritage fan,
Yeah,
I think it's a fun schedule.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that gives you something to look forward to. everybody likes something different every now and then. Well, you're getting it all year long.
Yeah, and those games are on the road. I mean, they're going to Alabama and to North Carolina. They'll get Antioch, Tennessee, Ezra Harding. They'll get them at home, but they've got 2 travel games outside of the state.
I would love that.
I actually missed that scrimmage game up there in Nashville. They're going to Nashville on the 12th for their scrimmage.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Academy.
Davidson County.
There you go.
Yeah, I would love that if I was a player. I'd love to do all that travel. That'd be great. Next one. We're going to flip to our local region here.
Look at them Murchie Indians. I'm excited about that game on the 12th. Man, that's Coach Nix's official, unofficial first game with the Temple Tigers there.
Lawrence, show off that hat you're wearing tonight.
There it is.
Yeah.
Right there, big A.
How about that?
The hay is in the barn now, Lawrence. There you go.
There we go.
The secret is
5-4
officially
last year,
out.
man. They're gonna have to go 6-4 this year to secure a playoff spot, but we'll see.
Even Lawrence's arm, he can step outside of his house and probably throw it to the football field. So
Yeah.
he lives pretty close.
I will say,
schedule though the first month of the season.
yeah, they've got a tough closer to that season. Those last 5 games are pretty brutal there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Coosa's going to be improved. I mean, that's not going to be a walkover. And I don't know about Union. Tim can probably speak to how Union would be.
Yeah, I think Union may be kind of like they were last year. I know they lose. I think they lose a quarterback, and I know one's transferred. One's transferred. So I don't know. They're a team, kind of a mystery.
I got you.
I think the schedule has the potential. I mean, they have the potential to open up the season 4-1.
Yes, I think that they're going to have to be 4-1 to have a realistic shot at the playoffs, because those last 5 games are going to be getting 2 wins out of there.
Yeah.
Going to be tough.
Let's see who they have at home. They have Chattooga at home.
Which will be good. Chattooga is definitely going to be depleted, replacing a
Darlington
ton
at
of
home and Dade at home. So
Darlington.
It's going to be tough going to Pepperell. It's always tough going to Trine.
Darlington's
Coosa.
bringing back tools. Pepperell's bringing back some, 2 of the biggest. Their quarterback and running back both coming back.
Yeah, I know this is a schedule release show, but how about some early predictions on this region? You guys,
Let's get through all the schedules first. Let's get through all the schedules first.
Let me consult my crystal ball here first.
So everybody can think a little bit on that while we're going.
Oh man,
I love how you
Lawrence already getting that pot stirred. Already.
yes, sir. We'll go ahead and take a look.
Not
at
even in
Coosa's
March yet.
schedule. Coosa playing obviously a lot of the same teams. I see Towns County on here, and
in the Towns County. Let me. Towns County. Jake was trying to get the Towns County schedule for us, and he was unable to get it.
gotcha.
Their team in the FYN area as well.
On
Again,
the 16th, they definitely they're at Coosa on the 16th. So
Coosa's going to have to get off to a big start there, and they have some options with Gordon Central and Woodland. Not loaded teams there. They got some options there early on, but by the time they hit Armurchie, it's going to be a battle every week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically the same thing we said about Armurchie. I mean, you're looking at their last 5 games, and it's where do you find that W at? And I hate to say you might be looking Chattooga's way for the best chance at it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to fare very good against Armurchie. I think that Armurchie, every bit of momentum in the county is swinging Armurchie's way. The fans to it, the players have bought in, and if their off-season program is going as well as the rumors that I hear, Lawrence probably knows more. I hear those kids are in the weight room, fired up, and got something to prove this year. But after Armurchie, you're looking very easy at no more wins there. Chattooga would have to be my that's where I would think that they had the best shot at a win at the bottom half of the schedule.
Yeah, because I mean, you got Dade bringing back some talent in the quarterback, wide receiver, a couple running back.
The young
They're gonna have
linebacker
size on the line.
Landon Williams will be back. You know,
Yeah.
he's a wrecking machine. I can't believe that kid's as young as he is coming
I'm
back.
excited to talk about Dade County here in a minute.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Coming.
Here's a Heard County schedule. Kind of mix it up a little bit. Anybody want to tackle the Heard County schedule?
I mean, the Heard County schedule looks almost like the Bowden schedule. I mean, they're pretty
Yeah.
much playing the same teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got
Central,
Pike,
Green, and
Liberal.
Yeah, but they're going to Callaway and Raven there back to back.
I think they're smart to get Bowden in there with a scrimmage to really put them up against something and see where they're at. So I think that's a smart move. That's a tough one.
You know, and Hurd lost their best player this offseason. He is transferred to IMG, big tight end defensive end.
He went down to Braden, Florida, and that was their golden boy.
That's an expensive school.
Yeah.
Some teams on there I'm not quite familiar with: McIntosh, Crawford County, Lamar County.
Yeah.
Here we go, the Bulldogs.
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun.
I would
Even
say
got
a
the
new
lightning
team,
bolts in the
but
back.
it is single A. So yeah, this is straight from I don't know if it was all on Georgia Trine or who put it out, but it's got the Bulldog in the background with a lightning bolt. So
That spring game is interesting. Cahulla
Yes.
Creek.
very much so. Kind of one that I kind of circled. I'd like to see. Maybe there'll be a bunch of spring games on different days, so I can see a bunch of different spring games.
That's what I'm going to try to do with all the new teams I'll be trying to keep up with. I'm going to try to get to as many spring games as possible.
Yeah.
And I'd like to tell our fans that we're going to kind of divvy those up and bounce around and try to be reporting in from each location as much as we can.
That'd be
Because
cool.
the spring games are going to show us a lot about who they're plugging in or who they have in mind to plug in at some key skill positions, and just how those off-season workout programs are going. Who's bulking up? Who looks beefy? Who looks fast?
And those first two teams on their schedule here, Creek and Lafayette, these are two teams we're going to talk a lot about on the AAA show. I think these two teams are going to be very good this year. So if you're a Colt fan, you're a Rambler fan, I think this is going to be a season you're going to want to follow.
Yeah, I know that quarterback from Cahulla Creek, he really impressed me last spring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
And
Ran the
throughout
ball.
the whole season, the kid did nothing but get better. Very good, mature decision maker in the pocket.
Yeah.
Really.
And they've got a lot of players that made big contributions last year that are coming back. So I think that Colt team is going to be something to watch.
Yeah, I think that Tryon does not have an easy opening to theirs. I mean, I think that they had the contract already in place with Lafayette. They may be a little surprised that Lafayette puts up the fight they're going to, and the same with Dade and Pepperell there right out of the gate. It's not a pretty opener.
I'll tell you the game that I was glad was still on the schedule, when it came out, was that Gordon Lee game.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that, 90 years of streak going or whatever.
I believe both superintendents are locked in. They're not going to do away with that game. They're going to make sure that they save spot on the calendar for that. Both communities need it. It's a huge payday for both programs at the gate. They pack the stadiums both sides, so definitely.
Yeah, not only the football team. I mean, you're talking about the concession stands get wiped out. That funds the band.
Mm-hmm.
The parking funds equipment. Every raffle ticket gets sold. I mean, that's funding the cheerleaders. So these big games like this, it's a good thing we have them. And we'll get a lot more interesting games this year we can pack the stands at.
And I feel like Tryon's going to add another with the Chattooga matchup now. It's going to be the same way. It's just going to be.
I was going to say which one's going to earn you more money. I'm betting on October 14th.
Yeah,
that's what I was about to say. We're going to skip October 14th.
Yeah.
I'm betting that earns you more money. What was Levi?
You think there'll be a
scrimmage game a couple years ago? How many people was there?
Oh, it was standing room only. I mean,
You sent that video, Ben. That's impressive. How many people were at kickoff?
Yeah.
That one video. Yeah, on YouTube.
See if you can pull that up right quick.
Oh, I can definitely pull it up.
Yeah, do that.
and that was
Not put you on
Tryon,
the spot there or
Chattooga
nothing, but
No,
scrimmage?
you're good. I can pull it up.
Yeah, and
yeah.
it was scrimmage now for about 7 years, and the scrimmage had a lot of restrictions, a lot of emotions, and I think that both coaches, especially there in a small community like Tryon, they don't see it as a scrimmage. They do not want to lose that game. You know, they don't care what what the rules are in terms of scoreboard keeping, and they don't want to see an L hung up there at all.
Yeah.
I'm looking for that. I shouldn't take me but a second to find that.
Yeah, the players shared around emails going back and forth between the ADs, that were leaking out who was scared to play who in a real game. I mean, it was a real heated controversy. And all of that was settled by the GHSA when they said, now you're in the same region. You have to play a real game.
Yeah.
Oof,
Whoa.
okay.
I like that.
Yes, sir.
I do think that both programs would have really liked to play this last year when both teams were senior heavy, and the Bulldogs obviously having what I consider the greatest season that program's ever had. The total wins, and they've won a state championship before, but that was the best, most dominating Bulldog team that anybody alive can remember.
So this will give you. I turned it way down so I don't kill anybody's ears, but I'm going to drag it over, and you should be able to see this full screen here. Now, this gives you an example. This is a scrimmage game. You'll be able to see the crowd and the emotion in it. You have standing room only, got the whole sideline, the whole bleachers are. I mean, it's just.
And now we get this a regular season game.
Well, and look at the end of the bleachers there where the standing begins. The people are 30 deep standing.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
All the way around the entire field.
Yeah, it was.
Dr. Motorhome, we're staying the night back over there. I mean,
And that's a scrimmage game.
Yeah, there had to be 3,000 people there, really.
I would say 5. I think that the stadium holds 2,500, and it looked double than that to me.
I got there like 4 hours before game time, and there were people getting seats.
Could you imagine a playoff spot on the line with this game this year?
That's what I was just about to say. I was upset that this game is not the last game of the season, and they're battling for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? There'd be 7,000 people there.
I've got a feeling that in the coming years, in terms of scheduling, that this game is going to work itself back to the final game of the season.
That'd be great. I think that's what made the Tryon Gordon Lee game a lot of times is it was always that final game and there was so much on the line,
Yeah.
All righty. Let's flip and see what the next one is here. Chattooga. Funny enough. Nothing real fancy. Cut it right off of Max Preps. Here you go. So it says they opened up against Lafayette. They are scrimmaging
Valley Head.
At Valley Head. Now, I don't know if that – you might know, Boss Man, but are they scrimmaging Valley Head or is it some kind of multiple team
No,
deal?
the Valley Head scrimmage was the spring game. They were going to be in Fort Payne in the fall. Yeah.
Yes. Valley Head. Are they scrimmaging them head up, or is this going to be like a multiple?
My understanding was Valley Head was a head up, and then Fort Payne it may have been multiple quarters or something crazy.
Okay.
I haven't heard confirmation on that.
Yeah, that's just. I mean, I'm not wanting to diss on Valley Head at all, but I've had multiple people ask me from Valley Head, "Are you serious? Are we really playing y'all?" Because I mean, they literally have what.
Well, who's coaching over there now?
Oh, I know who's coaching over there. I mean, he's not going. He's not going back down, obviously. But I mean, he's got 70. What? How many people in their high school? Maybe 150.
Yeah, maybe 100 total between all the grades.
Wow,
that's what I'm saying. Like
they're so far below a single A. But however, Valley Head.
Oh yeah. Oh
man,
yeah.
they have some little. I call them the little cowboys down there that just come out.
This is why I made the comment, because this may or may not be the fella that I was talking to about. Really, they're really playing.
I never count Valley Head out of anything, and I did see. I believe old Hammond brought several of those players over to watch some Chattooga stuff. So
yeah. But I think I think the scrimmage in the fall against Fort Payne. I mean, Fort Payne's always got a decent squad. They're always going to have enough talent to put a decent squad out
That's
there.
a big school. That's a big school, and Chattooga has gone over to scrimmage them in the past, and they on the winning side of those and the losing side. They used to have a very pass-oriented offense, and they rolled through several good quarterbacks there. So who knows?
It's the home of Evan McPherson.
It is, and his little
kicker.
brother is
his little brother may be better than him. So
yeah, I bet he hates hearing that, but yeah, you might be right.
Now you take a look at Chattooga's opening 5 games there. Like you were saying, Lafayette is definitely going to be on the upswing. Temple's lost a lot of talent, but Cahulla Creek is definitely on the upswing. And I feel like Murray County and Temple.
Did they get a new head coach?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Napier.
Yeah, Kurt Napier is Murray County's head coach. I mean, I think he's got an uphill battle, but I think he's the right fit for the job. I think they're going to do. They're going to start heading in the right direction. I think they're going to do.
At the state wrestling championship, I happened to sit right in front of a few Murray County football players, and they were talking about a little bit of an improved atmosphere. You know, the kids all said how the team had just been broken. I turned and I asked them point blank. I said, "Did you guys really lose 2 games? You know, give up 70 points?" You know, and they kind of laughed it off, but they all felt like things were going to be different. You know, they said that they got a lot of kids in the hallways that don't come out, that now they think they're going to. So they should just have more bodies on the sideline to work with, and that'll be a plus.
All righty.
Yeah, I think that the back end of that schedule again is going to be that D1, you know, getting a little thick there.
And this is obviously this is Darlington's schedule here, and they're scrimmaging Callaway. And what team is it in Orlando that they're?
They weren't sure. They just know they're going to Orlando to play.
Okay.
And that may be one of those, not a 7-on-7, but an 11-on-11 camp kind of thing. I'm not sure what that is either.
Could be.
Yeah. They're going to have a tough one right out of the gate, Snorville.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We all watched little Pate grow up last year, and the kid's gunslinger.
Yeah.
Is the running back not back for it?
Yes, Brant Bryant is back. I believe they're losing their big receiver, Ridge Red, and they're
he's back.
No,
he was a junior.
He's back, but they're losing a couple of their defensive linemen. They're losing Peppers and both Knights. They're losing a few of their defensive components, but that offense should have some tools.
Yeah, they've got plenty. I think they're going to do well in 7-4A this year. So I think that's Sonoraville.
My team ain't playing them.
Yeah. I think that Sonoraville Cedartown game is going to be fun to watch also.
Tim, that was a shocking. I could not believe that last year. I don't even want to bring it back up, but
I will say that game to me woke Fannin up because they were a whole different team after that.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. This is the last of the local schedules that I have, and I didn't save it for the end for this, but I'll go ahead and tell you I think this is the team that wins the region that we previously talked about with Chattooga and Trine and all those. 7A division, what is it? Division 2? Who knows?
It'll be one.
You're Division 1.
It'll be
Division 1. Yeah.
You guys are all D1s.
Yeah, D1, 7A. Yeah,
Look at your travel budget from the Coosa game on. Look at that travel budget. You're not driving 30 miles from your home.
Yeah. Just don't even get on the bus. Just be like, all right, meet us over here.
I mean, we noticed a few schools have got some games that are out there. But the one thing I noticed with your AA schools and AAA schools, there's a lot of games that are close to home. The travel it doesn't seem like it's going to be as much this year. I think, if you talk about Rockmart and Fannin, the distance between there, or Harrelson and Fannin, that's going to be a little rough, especially when you're talking about basketball or baseball. But a lot of your other games, they're fairly close.
Mm-hmm.
That has to be the one thing I noticed this weekend when I drove up to Fannin to watch basketball. Is I was thinking, man, these guys make this trip 3 times a week sometimes, you know?
And everybody they play complains about having to make that trip.
Yeah.
Never think about the fact that Fannon's making it every week.
Yeah,
every
week for every
sometimes
sport.
Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. And
Tim's like, I'm not saying anything. I'm gonna let y'all speak to that.
I mean, and Dave's in the same boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave's up there.
I saw. Never mind.
Yeah. All right.
I am excited about the new. Heck, we're still gonna have to travel a lot too. But I'm excited. And I'm ready for week one.
We
Right
have
now.
Dayton Pepperell on Max Preps.
I want to talk about Dayton County for a second. Let me have the floor here for a minute. So
Jump right in.
Go ahead.
I saw these boys play basketball. Now I know it's basketball. We're not talking about football here, but my goodness, they have some good looking kids that are playing football. Is number 10? Is it Cooper?
Cooper's number 10.
Golly, what a good looking kid. And then obviously David Cole. I love Coach Poston. I like what he's done there. I think Dade County could very well host a playoff game next year.
Yeah, I could see it.
I really, really believe that Dade County could host a playoff game next year.
I think it's going to be between, looking at that region, I would go between Dade and
Pepperell.
Yeah, and I'm not going to shy away on trying. I think they're going to be able to move the ball through the air a little bit with that.
I think a key too is going to be who Darlington gets at quarterback. I asked somebody the other day who their quarterback was going to be, and they said they haven't found him yet. So you never know.
You never know.
Well, I'm sure Coach Atha has some idea.
Yeah, I think that just those returning players that Dade has at some key positions. Tim, you saw him play basketball. Is that not a very physical basketball team?
I honestly, with all due respect, I felt like Dade County could have won that basketball tournament last week.
Very well.
I really believe they could have.
They shoot it well.
As all can be, and I'm not a coach. I'm just a super fan. I run the PA. So, but if I was coach, I throw the ball David Cole 100 times a game.
I knew what was coming.
I agree 100%.
I mean, he's a heck of an athlete, man.
I would almost have to guarantee that they're putting in some quick release screens for him, because their problem in the past was not being able to hold the defense off to set up the deeper routes. But Cole can go up and get anything. I mean, he had
a dunk last week. He's athletic, man. He's tough. Competitor.
I saw him catch one pass against Heard County for an 80-yard touchdown. That was his one target of the night. It was an 80-yard touchdown.
If he gets behind you, he's gone. He's a weapon. I felt like Jalen Johnson and Cole were two of the best, hands-wise receivers in the region last year, and they just didn't have the stability to get a quarterback passing to him, because they need 7 targets a game minimum. And, Chattooga didn't throw 7 passes a game.
So I'm seeing I did get – give me 1 second. Here is I couldn't find the Dade County, but here's the Pepperell schedule for next year. It says they'll open up against Northwest Woodfield.
Now, remember, Pepperell opened up this past year with the hardest gauntlet of opening 4 games we've
seen. The Region 5 gauntlet.
Yeah. And they dug in, and I mean, they took those knocks early, and they bounced back and came back over right in the thick of it. Now you're returning DJ Rogers, you're returning Matthew Waddell, who was again a state finalist in the wrestler, and they got a couple of those other little guys that are speedsters, physical. I believe Colton Edge is going to be back. Pepperell has some returning players at key positions that's going to make Pepperell a threat. And Rick Hurst is one of the most experienced, polished coaches. He has his team ready to go every single week. I think that Pepperell's going to be right in the hunt. I don't know that they're deep enough to hang with Darlington, But I'm with Benton. I feel like it's going to be a three-way run, but with Tryon, with Pepperell, and Dade just beating the tar out of each other, trying to get a home field spot there for that number 2 spot.
Who they got? Model, Woodland,
Temple, and then you get into region play.
Woodland's going to be an interesting team this year. With the new head coach they have, they've always had a lot of talent down there. But
yeah, I think he was a coach from Rockmart.
Yeah.
I think he's an alum there at Woodland. He's coming back home, take over the program.
I know the kids are excited to play for him.
Yeah.
All right, you want to go on record here on February 20th who your 4 playoff teams are there, Lawrence?
I'm going on record February 20th right now.
All right, right now.
Lawrence will do it.
I'll do it in the preview shows.
Pepperell, Tryon, Darlington, your top 3.
I got you.
And then it's going to be a battle between Armurchie, Dade, and Chattooga for the 4.
I can't disagree with that.
Dade County. Don't sleep on Dade County.
I can't disagree. I would say I would probably take Darlington, depending on the quarterback situation.
Now you think about Tryon, you say Darlington is and Tryon, and I feel like Tryon has figured out their quarterback situation, and a lot of these other teams have not. They're bringing back Logan Eller and Toby Maddox, both who are fast. And while Maddox is undersized, I just watched Toby Maddox battle at the 160 spot to win a state title, and the kid looked like his heart was bigger than his whole body. So I feel like having Toby Maddox now with some size on him and Logan Eller in the backfield and Cade Smith throwing, boy, watch out for the Bulldogs.
And I've heard
the key there in that 7A too is going to be the offensive line play. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're going to have to be able to throw the ball to beat Darlington because they got the best offensive line, defensive line in the region.
Yeah, no, I don't think that they can hold up against Darlington's line in the trenches. They lost all their size. They lost Caleb Parks. They lost Brantley Will. They lost all their big boys. But even on I think that they may move Lucas Stoker there into a more expanded role because that kid was only a sophomore and he was solid at linebacker, really solid.
Yeah, the Tigers probably have 4 guys across the front that are going to play college football.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to throw the ball, and you're not going to be able to run it 45 times and beat them, I don't think.
And we saw last year, even at Tryon's best, what they did against Bowden, a Bowden team that could air it out. And that's where I think if Darlington settles on a quarterback who's got college aspirations, which they always seem to find, then that's going to be the weak point again for the Bulldogs. And it's why I see them as battling for the number 2 spot with Pepperell and Dade.
Yeah. Pepperell, I don't think, has the offensive line size either, do they? I think they lost a couple of guys that.
Yeah, they lost some. I think they have their returning is also at their skill positions. A lot of and to me, the entire region was really weak last year up front. I know that the Gordon Central actually had some of the biggest linemen in the conference in the region, and
Where are they all at?
Hey, man, a couple of those kids are going to play some D3 college football.
I know.
TJ Hamilton is a hustler, man. He was.
How about the staff he's put? How about that staff he's put together this offseason?
I'm telling you, this guy can work the phones like no other.
All right, before I head out, I'd just like to say congratulations, Michael McDade. He'll be playing at Gardner Webb. I don't know if y'all had a chance to see that.
D1.
That's a steal right there.
Yes. I think we've all said before, I mean, whoever puts this kid on the roster, they're going to look like a recruiting genius.
I don't think that Gardner Webb knows what they got. I think that they don't even realize what a gold mine they just stepped in.
Yeah, I think they're going to find out real soon. I think he fits at that level, and I think he'll do well as soon as he gets healthy. He's going to be fun to watch. And let's talk about 6 AAA as we head into the boys basketball tournament, state tournament.
Lafayette game. How about that Adairsville Lafayette game?
That was something. Now, I was telling Lawrence before we went live, I was like, just looking at, doing some bracketology, just looking at it. Could 3 6 AAA teams make the Final Four?
I've got to look at that before I.
Yeah, let's look at
sign off
it.
on
See if you can find the bracket. I think LFO's got a tough bracket to get out of. But if Adairsville stays hot, I think it's doable to get out of that bracket, that bottom left bracket. And I think Lafayette could get a second round rematch with Cross Creek at home. Cross
Yes.
Creek won it all last year. I think Lafayette's an elite team. I think they're top 5, 6 team to a lot of people's rankings. I think they're underranked.
Mm-hmm. Statewide, they're underranked. I think everybody up knows how lethal they are, which is why it shocked everybody that Adairsville has evolved over the course of this season into such a solid team.
Yeah, and I would say it's not really the course of the season. I think the last couple months or our last few weeks, they've really turned it on. They've got hot at the right time. That's why I think they could get out of their bracket, make it to that finals. They stay hot.
They always played good defense, but now it's like the guys are getting hot, man.
Yeah, and they upset LFO, and LFO's only 2 losses this season were to Lafayette. And LFO's got the tougher of the 3 as far as brackets, making it to that Final Four. But I think it's doable. I think they can do it. I think LFO is a very good team.
How about that 4-point play Adairsville had the other night to send them to the championship game?
Oh,
that's the best.
The foul on the half-court shot, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd have called that a foul, but I mean, if I was going to go foul the guy, I mean, I don't think he would have been able to get the shot off. I mean, I'd go up there and give him a hug,
I think that's what his coach was telling him. If you're going to foul him, make sure you foul him so he doesn't make the shot.
Yeah, but it was an amazing play by friend up there. That was something that made the rounds around Twitter on the internet.
This is the top half of your bracket here. This is a half that has Lafayette in it.
Look at that.
Oconee County. I agree. The Cross Creek matchup that will probably be your matchup.
Yeah, Cross Creek won it all last year, and they put Lafayette out in the Elite 8. I think you'll get that rematch right there at home for Lafayette.
And I think LFO is probably one of your better 3 seeds after being upset by Adairsville.
Oh, yeah.
LFO may be the best 3 seed. I mean,
they're going against Sumter County, and I mean, I think that LFO is better than Sumter County, and they're the 1 seed in that quadrant.
Yeah, you got Sandy Creek in that bracket also. That's the tough one. I think they're to get past, but I think it's doable. I think they could get out of that bracket and make it to the Final Four. Just play their ball. I mean, and then if you go down to the bottom left, you'll see Adairsville down there.
Yep.
I think Adairsville can get out of that bracket. I think they can make it to the Final Four. That would be something. I don't want to jinx them, but I think it's possible. I think they can do it.
Thompson is really solid. I like that's a tough one.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think that's going to be tough.
And how about Ringgold? Ringgold making it to the playoffs here. They got hot at the right time, had a couple upsets, and now they're in there at the 4 seed.
Look at those Fannin girls.
I wasn't going to say nothing, but
that's what I was about to do. I was about to pull it up. And
hey, Tim, tell us a little bit. How many games? What was their average margin of victory?
I don't know. I don't know, Levi. It's
30
been
points.
impressive.
They won games by 50 points.
It's been very impressive.
They won more than one game by 50 points.
Yeah, it's been very impressive. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution has us ranked number 1. Kyle Sandy doesn't like us for whatever reason. That's okay. But
Kyle Sandy, I hope you're watching.
Oh, geez.
Getting it wrong, bud.
But but let me tell you something. These girls have a chip on their shoulder. They lost in the state championship last year. Was up by about 13 in the fourth quarter and lost. And they've carried that. The 3 seniors, Becca Ledford, Reagan York, and Jenny Young. They've carried that. They've been leaders on this team. They've carried that chip on their shoulder. Hey, we'll see what happens. We've got a really good, good favorable first 2 matchups. Now the Elite 8 matchup could be interesting as we can play Josie again.
Yeah,
which would be a rematch for the state championship. We would love for that game to be at home. Obviously, it'll come down to the Universal coin flip that Robin Hines does on Twitter, which I think is pretty cool. Have we actually thought about how crazy that is? That all the universal coin flips are. Maybe we shouldn't say much, but but that it's all on a coin flip on Twitter. But we'll see what happens.
Just to let you know, I did a little math real quick. They, on average, they've in the 26 games they've played, they've won by an average of 23 points a game.
There you go.
So,
Wow.
That's Coach Ryan Chastain, guys. You know, I didn't even play here, but Coach Ryan Chastain, what a job he's done. And it's special, man. We've got a great thing going on in Fannin County girls basketball. We got 2 very good middle school teams. We've got 3 very good rec all-star teams that are going to be possibly in the state tournament too, from the top to the bottom. It's girls basketball in Fannin County. You don't mess around with it.
I don't know who else saw it, but it seems like that winning culture is bleeding over to the boys because the boys played above their pay grade every game I saw them in. The boys outperformed what all the expectations were. I was highly shocked at how good the boys were.
Speaking of boys,
boys got a bright future for sure, and they're very young. So,
speaking of boys, I think Benton's Chattooga Indians have the best shot at making the Elite Eight of any team around.
I agree.
Bracket
This
works
year,
out.
they've been doing what they haven't done in the past, which is all the games that come down to the wire, the Indians have somehow been pulling it out and closing it, right there at the end. Other than the overtime loss to Model, have been very solid fourth quarter performers this year.
I like how they played on Friday, man. I think they took 3-point shots in the first half, which didn't like them. They were taking the ball to the paint, so they showed they can score inside, outside.
And Model tried to take Jalen Johnson away early. They tried to make everybody. They tried to let Brody Mobbs. They tried to let everybody beat them at Jalen Johnson, and Chattooga responded. Everybody stepped up.
Xavier Gray and
Xavier Gray.
Amy Smith, man, those two were just on fire.
Yeah.
Speaking of Model, for all you Model football fans out there, you guys need to get that big kid on the football field this spring. That dude is a beast. He is an absolute monster.
Yeah, him and his brother both. They're both big boys, but obviously I don't even know how to say his name. He's a big guy. As a freshman, he went head to head with Cash Allen, and who was 6'8", and I mean they had a beautiful, beautiful rivalry going that whole season.
See, when I look at the bracket, you have the other 1 seed here, which is Westside Augusta. I'm not taking nothing against Westside Augusta, but I think you might see Columbia. It's going to be one of those 2 in the third round if you make it. And Columbia they're loaded with talent.
Yeah,
probably the second best team behind Pace Academy.
Yeah, Chattooga could be hosting an Elite Eight game right there, guys. Very well possible. They could host all the way through the Elite Eight.
Yeah, I think that Columbia or Pace Academy would be the strongest test by far that they'll see if they make it to that particular round. So. All righty.
Yep.
A lot of fun, guys. Unfortunately, we still got a few months.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get a little spring football before too long, and then When does the spring officially start? Anybody know?
Everyone does it different.
Yeah,
I actually have some spring schedules up on the webpage, man. If you guys want to check them out, I've had some schools send me some of their spring schedules.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
GHSA sets a date for when they allow the first practices, but then the teams all kind of adjust around that.
I'm going to hit as many spring games as possible. So I need to see a lot of these new schools I'll be following and writing articles about. So I need to see who they are.
Yeah, and I know some of them, the actual spring game is as late as the last 2 weekends of May. So some of them will be late games.
There's some of your spring practice schedules right there. But
that's pretty cool. He's got practice schedules broke out.
Cartersville, Cass.
Doing a lot of work there, Lawrence.
Yes, sir. Scroll back up, man. I got some of the spring games scheduled. If you hit on the schedules.
Yeah.
Just hit up at the top on the schedule. Yeah, I got some of the spring games already penciled in.
Nice.
Oh, that's a lot going on the 20th. We'll have to divide that up.
That'll be interesting. May 13th, as Heath Webb, former Gainesville coach, has now took over at Lumpkin County, heading to Armucci. Lumpkin County, a few years ago had two very good middle school teams that ran through the Mountain League, and those guys have got to be getting sophomores and juniors right now. So I mean, I've been saying it for a few years. Lumpkin County is going to be good at football, and it's not carried over. So I mean, I'm very interested to see if Heath Webb gets some of the talent out of those boys.
Hey, Dalton and Pickens is no joke. That's going to be a real interesting little matchup there.
Grant Myers ain't scared.
No, he ain't. I mean, he's just
look at your preseason games here. Look at Rockmart at Pickens.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Preseason.
Wow. Also, Coach Cheatham there scheduled Coach Tank and for Stevens County coming to Fannin.
Yes, sir. I like it. Bowden at Rayburn. We've talked about that one earlier.
Bowden at Rayburn, Darlington, Callaway. There's some good preseason games going on. Really nice action there. I don't know what
the same day
it's looking like, but I know Fannin's going to have to be answering some skill position questions too.
Most definitely.
All righty, folks. Well, I appreciate y'all. We'll be on next week and talk 2A.
Yeah. 2A.
I'm excited about that one.
Yeah.
Double A.
Yes,
this is all new to me. I didn't know they had 2A until last week. So you guys, I never heard of that before.
Everybody's left me, and now Chris, you're joining me. So.
I'm here for you, buddy.
Welcome to the boat.
Yeah.
We may have to out and find some of those other double A teams now. And
Levi's going to have to change his name to Region 7 Sports.
I'm just going to call it.
Yeah, Region 7. That's it. Yeah. Oh, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna hop off here and
sayonara, gentlemen.
All right, guys.
All right.